What time is it? It's journey time, and time for another creative journey using Stampin' Up! Products. Hello, my name is Kathy Haynes, and today we're going to take a fun masculine journey down the trusty tools road. And this is a great stamp bundle or stamp set and die for the man in your life, whether it be your husband, your brother, your son, somebody who did something special for you, your repairman, your handyman. This is just a great masculine and fun stamp set. So it does have Dad, it does have Happy Father's Day, which of course is tomorrow, but it also has You're the Most Awesome, thank you for somebody that helped you around the house. So it is just a lot of fun. So this is the fun card we're making, and it is a window sheet front, so you can see through it. And inside, see, I've filled up my little trash can, my tool box. I have my hammer, my crescent wrench, my pliers. It's probably not pliers, it's probably a cutting tool. And then I can tell you what a die cut is and a die cutting machine, but I can't tell you all the tools. And I love the paintbrush, it's just so much fun. All these are just so cute. And then you open it up and it says You're the Most Awesome. And this paper, or this, what is that called? This measuring tape is made from the beautiful DSP that is of course no longer available. So Stampin' Up!, if you're listening, everybody I know agrees, please keep the matching designer series papers as long as the die cuts are still available, because we just love them and we want to use them more and more and more. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm hoping this is a real quick tutorial. I thought it was, but I was here a few times this week teaching it. So let's, I have two pieces. So I have two pieces of window sheet. So I start with this is 5.5, and the card's going to be 5.5, but I did a 3/4 inch fold. So that's 5.5 plus 3/4 is 6.25. So I cut it at 6.25 and 5.5. All the dimensions will be listed below. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and score that real well. And I'm going to take some of my designer series paper. I like this one. There's always so many to choose from in the front and the back. You know how I feel about that. So I've decided I like the other side. I'm going to use some Tombow. We hope it will be nice and work the whole time. There we go. And I'm going to put that right up here and just layer that. Kind of center it in the middle. Again, all the dimensions will be below. And then I'm going to take and open it up. And you can use 2 rows of tear and tape, or I happen to have some tear and tape that is the perfect size that I bought elsewhere. I'm a tear and tape-aholic. And I'm going to put that right here. Okay. My tool, lay it flat, pull up, and you'll get a straight edge. Okay. Then that's a tool is not on this table. I haven't put everything away from my workshops yet. And this was a last minute decision to make a video because I had to make one more for somebody. So I'm going to use, I have something on that right there. And I'll get that off later. So I'm going to line this up with my fold. And it's also cut at 5.5, and it's a little over, so later on I'll take and cut that down. But I'm just going to fold that over. Isn't that easy? And now I have my front panel. So I love making these kind of cards. They're just fun. They're unique. I'm going to see if I can get this off with a getter offer, a glue getter offer. But I just don't want to take up too much time. So I will get that off later. Imagine how cute it would be without it. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I need a strip. Hold on a minute. short one strip. Let me cut this really fast. 5.5. On here, on 3/4. Hopefully this is the right size. Sorry. So yeah, so it's 5.5 by 1 1/4, and then I've cut this at 1 inch by 5 1/4. Go by the dimensions I list below always, because sometimes I just say things. You know how that goes. And I'm gonna layer this one right here. Isn't this just beautiful? Now I'm actually using, because this was last year's designer series paper, soft succulent, and it matches just perfect. Now I don't like to use glue when I'm using the window sheets, so I magically have, and this stuff sticks, some 1 inch tear and tape, and you want it to go on pretty straight because you're actually going to be able to see it from the other side. So you, after I said that, of course this is not straight, but you should really try to do that as straight as you possibly can. I'm going to pull that up. You could also use a credit card or a gift card. And then I'm going to line this up with the bottom of my card, right like that. All right, so now there you go. We're getting there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my white piece in. And I already know where I want to stamp it, because I want to stamp it to where you can see it. So I'm going to go down about here and over, and I'm going to use the You're the Most Awesome, and I love Pebbled Bath for my grayish colors. I just love Pebbled Bath. It's my new gray. Okay. So I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to put it right about here. I like to put an arrow on my one of my acrylic blocks when I'm using words that show which way is up, because I'm sure I'm not the only one has done it wrong. Now I just put a print there, so I'm just going to put a couple prints everywhere instead of stressing. Okay, now it looks like I've been playing in oil. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to put this inside of it, so I can go ahead and use glue. And you know, I say this over and over and over, but it doesn't take a lot of glue, especially if you're using Tombow. You don't want to overdo it, and then your paper starts to warp, and your card just doesn't look professional. So, okay, got that sentiment in. I'm gonna put this away before I get more fingerprints on this card. Oh, okay. Now I've cut a strip of this DSP. It's a ruler. I just love this, and that's the other side. So I'm going to put that a little bit up from the bottom. And when you go a little bit higher, I think it just makes it so much better. And this piece is cut a little long, so I'm just going to snip off because I just want it to go with my white. There we go. So see how I raised it? I like it better than if you put it right at the bottom. Personal preference, I'm sure. Now I have my toolbox. My toolbox, if you can see, it has these holes. So I wanted silver behind it. So I took some silver foil paper, and I'm just gonna put on the back. I've run this through with a retired Stampin' Up! Embossing folder that makes it look like you know, like the metal. They do the stamping in metal in auto things, so, and garages. If you know what I'm trying to say, please post it below. Help us all out, please. And so I'm putting a little bit of glue in between the holes, because I don't want glue coming out of the holes. And then I'm simply going to lay this over it, and then turn it right side up and snip. I don't want any of it to show up here. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the back. Okay, so I'm going to lay this over it. You know, I did write Stampin' Up! And I asked for, because there might be a better way to do this, and I asked if they could give us more directions on what each die cut is for. So do you see that now? That you can see the metal showing through, so it kind of looks like bolts. Now what I'm going to do is I have to put my handle on. And this is my toolbox handle right there. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and here. And lay my handle upside down right in that area. Hold it for a second. Now what I'm going to do is I don't want it, I know where I'm going to place it already, so I can tell that I need to put dimensionals down here in this corner and down here in this corner. Because remember, you'll be able to see through the back, so you want to keep, you know, as minimal stuff showing as possible. And I'm going to put it about 3/4 of an inch in, and then half and half on the white and the soft succulent, right about there. Okay, now I'm going to put my tools together, and to me this is just fun. It's kind of like color forms, you know, or something. You know, I say that all the time, but it's just fun. So I'm going to put some glue. There's 2 dies. There's the whole hammer and there's just the head, so that you can make the head of the hammer a different color. And of course I use the silver foil or chrome paper. Okay, and I'll put that off to dry. And then I already cut out, and I did it off a little, but it's mine. I don't have time to do it again. But this is from the Designer Series paper, and so it's a little bit thinner. So I went ahead and cut one out also in just white to give it some sturdiness. So I'm just going to put some glue on here. Line this up with here. Okay, and I'm going to put that aside to dry. Okay, now I've got my crescent wrench, I've got my hammer. So here's my hammer, here's my crescent wrench. I'm going to put together my, what I think are pliers. All right, let me put this aside just a minute. If you can see that, you have one that has a hole in it and one that doesn't. And my take on that is put the one with the hole on top, and I want it to be a little bit open. So I'm just going to put some glue around this hole. And not too much, because it'll just slide around. Oh, got some on the other side. And push. And I actually put too much on. So let's just slide that away to dry. Move, little guy. And later on I can take a Q-tip with some alcohol and clean that up gently on this foil paper. Right. Come on. And I'm not going to put the, well, I guess I could while it's drying. So obviously, again, a little bit of glue right here. And the foot goes to the outside. I'm going to put that right there and push. It's hot out here. I'm sure everywhere you are right now it's hot. So it's a little bit hot here in Southern California. A little bit humid, so probably taking a little longer for the glue to stick. Okay. All right, so isn't that cute? Now let's see if we can move this without it falling apart. Move, guy. There we go. I'm just going to move you out of the way. One more time. All right, put that over there. open you up a little bit. There, okay. Trust me, it's gonna be perfect. So I've got all my tools except for my paintbrush. And my paintbrush is really one of my funnest parts, one of my most fun parts. And I don't know that I brought it over here. Where'd you go? There we go. Underneath the Clorox wipes. Okay, so you cut out one piece like that, but then there's also a piece like this that at first I couldn't figure out what it was, and then I did. So what I want to do with that is I brought over some, I chose pumpkin pie. I just thought it was a good pop of color for this color scheme. And I just want to make it look like I've been painting. So I just rubbed it on here, whoops, and just pulled it down. Keep doing it till you get it how you want it. So it looks like you've been painting away. Okay. This way. And then I'm going to glue it onto the top of the base. Okay, right there. And I do not know what this piece was for, but I thought it was perfect, because you know how these usually have a little bit of metal right under them. And I'm going to put that right there, and then turn it over and cut off the excess. If you know what this piece is for, please let us know in the comments. And just snip that off. So isn't that cute? Okay, you can also go in and, you know, add a little, make it look like a little more of what it is. All right, so I think we have all our tools done. So let's go ahead and build our little workshop. Go back to the card. Now the first thing I want to do is I'm going to put my pegboard in the background. So I'm going to open this up. I want to pop this up with some mini dimensionals. Here, I'll put one on each corner. Is this not adorable? I'm telling you, this was a big hit at my workshops. And put one in the middle just to keep it popped up. Peel those off. Do you see how fast this card is, even though it looks so amazing? Okay, and so I didn't get all my holes out. Get a little pokey tool. Definitely want these off. And I'm popping this up because then it looks like, because your pegboard, and I have one right here in front of me, if you were to see my craft room, is built out. And so this would be the proper way to do it. You don't want to go over the edge or too high there. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit more and right about there. Isn't that cute? Okay, so let's put our tools in. And to put my tools in, I used glue dots. I'm going to start with my hammer. And what I can see in here, I'm going to put 2 glue dots towards the bottom of my hammer. 1, and there's another one a little bit higher. If you want to put 2 so it doesn't really start to wiggle. Sometimes if you use 1, it'll spin. Okay, and I put them on the top. See, because I'm going to put it in here, lift up, and I'm putting it on this side of the handle, and I'm going to put it right till it's almost touching the edge, and then I'm going to push down. Okay, so it is secure in there now. Then I'm going to do the same thing with my crescent wrench, but you didn't know I knew what that one was, huh? Okay, I'm going to put 2 on the top. So 1 there, and 1 right next to it, but on top of it. Okay, so I've got 2 glue dots, and I think I'll sneak you in right about there. Okay, now on to our fancy paintbrush. Again, 2 glue dots, 1 towards the very bottom and 1 just above it. Okay, Where are you, glue dots? There's one. Okay. And I'm putting all the tools, you could, so I'll put it under the handle there, so it kind of looks in the back. It gives it a little more dimension, but you can put it on whatever side you want to put it. No, I like it in the front. And I'm going to have him hanging over like that. So isn't that cute? Now that my pliers seem to be dry, hopefully, I'm just going to put ink on the top handle, a little bit here, but I really want this to hang over. So I'm going to put it right like that. Okay. And I don't think it needs to be on the bottom one, you know, you decide. So now I have all my front stuff on. Now I'm going to open it up and we're going to finish the inside, but we're almost done. That's how easy this card is. Trusty tools. So this is my measuring tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a large dimensional right on the back because I want this to be popped up, but then I'm going to close this and I'm going to look. So do you see what I'm doing? I want it to show. So I'm going to put it where it shows how I want it to be, because I kind of want it to look like it's might be in the toolbox. So I'm going to go right about there. Once I get up, and then I'm going to shut it. Okay, so now it kind of looks like it's in the toolbox. When you open it up, it's not. Right. And then I have the regular adjustable wrench. And I'm just going to glue that right to here. Okay. You might put a mini behind here if you want to lift it up. Then we're just about done. Let me get some nuts and screws if I have any left. Here we go. So nuts and bolts. And I'm going to put this screw or bolt, just put a tiny bit of glue right there, put that right there, and then I'm going to take and put just a little bit of glue on here. Like, again, you don't want it popping through, so you don't have to put a lot of glue. I think I'll put that one right there, and then I'm going to put one down here. So just like with bling, you want it in 3 places. Whoops, stay little buddy. So isn't that adorable on the inside and then the outside? And then I had some bling that is not Stampin' Up, or if it was a long time ago. So I'm going to put this right here, this right here, so I have 4. Right, then I've got some little tiny bling. I'm going to put one right here. You decide where it goes, but it just kind of adds. Maybe one down here. And maybe one over here, but you decide. All right, and so one other thing I did on this one, I'm not going to do it now, but I had bought some of these little tools out of another store, and so I put on a little adjustable wrench and a couple more bling. But what do you think of that? Isn't that fun and adorable and sweet? And won't, you know, and like I said, not just for Father's Day. This could be birthdays, your handyman, your neighbor's husband, just kidding. So anyway, thank you for coming along on this short little journey, creative journey. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe. My blog and my shop are all listed below. There's links below to that. Please hit the notification bell and you'll be notified the next time I upload a video, and that should be early next week. And again, thank you for joining me. May all your layers be straight and all your bling be shiny, but most of all, may you always find joy in your journey. Have a nice day.